God is not going to speak from air. That's been the word. He's going to speak through his word. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you've not watched the previous video, please watch it because this is a part 2. This is a continuation. And I'm so excited. I started the part 1 like I was so low on energy. But I think I'm a little pumped up now. It's coming, and I'm loving the discussion. Literally, I'm talking to myself, but I'm loving the conversation and the conversation I foresee. We'll continue with the diary, the old book diary. The fear of man's opinion, Proverbs 29 verse 25, about my choice of spouse began to fade. And this again was something that God revealed to me while I was in that moment of delighting myself in the Lord. If you have watched the last video, you know. I did not know what the fear of man was. I'd never heard of the concept of the fear of man. I did not know what fear of man meant. I didn't know that it was a thing. But I was praying again, the Holy Spirit, and this I know when God speaks to me. When it comes to God speaking to me, I'm a knower. I know that knowers, there are feelers, there are people that feel, there are hearers, there are people that like hear, sometimes even the audible voice. But I'm a knower. God speaks to my mind. I just know. He speaks to me in ideas most of the time. Sometimes those ideas manifest as songs. So know the way God speaks to you. I was just praying one day and I heard in my spirit, in my mind, right, the fear of man. I was like, what's the fear of man? What's the fear of man? That when I went online and I realized, I started Googling, right, and I realized that the fear of man was a whole thing. Approval addiction, being a people pleaser. The fear of man is literally people pleasing. But again, remember, this was not something I had heard of before. It literally just dropped in my spirit and I started doing my research. And that when I came across the verse, Proverbs 29 verse 25, I opened it and guess what I saw? The fear of man is a snare, but he who trusts in the Lord will be saved. For many girls, it manifests itself as, okay, you have this chat to your girlfriend. This is the kind of person I'm going to marry. In the future, the kind of person I'm going to marry. So now you are faced with an actual marital decision and you're letting those influences of what you guys had discussed it was going to be like affect your decision now. You feel like, if I choose this person, what will this person say? What will this person say? What will this person say? This person will feel like I didn't live up to the standards that, whereas those standards that you guys were talking about were ridiculous standards. If all your standards that you have are superficial, then you don't have standards. Honestly, you don't have standards. We're saying that don't settle for a relationship where you're not fulfilled. Don't settle for a relationship where you're not loved, where you're not seen. Don't settle for a relationship where you don't have the ability to fulfill God's purpose over your life. Don't settle for a relationship where you're not, I don't want to use the word happy because happy is so superficial, where you're not joyful, where you don't have that deep inner joy. What many people mean by don't settle is, don't settle if he doesn't have this amount in his bank account. That if you somehow get married to a man, for example, that doesn't own a car, you're settling. Are you kidding me? Would they talk? Would they make negative remarks? Yes. But it didn't matter as much anymore. Or well, just a little. The process was still going on. Did God change my desires after all? Big yes. Did he put a deep love for this man in my heart? Yes. I don't even know where it came from. And I so enjoyed that painful, life-changing, sin-exposing, love-infusing process. The things I learned have forever changed me. And I pray I don't forget them. That's why we got them written down. So that when you're in marriage and you start thinking, who sent me? Why did I remarry this man? You can go back to your convictions and remind yourself that it's God. There's no way that it couldn't have been God. Everywhere I looked, God was speaking. It was no coincidence that during this period, we were following a Bible reading program. So I was constantly in the Word. God is not going to speak from air. That's been the word. God kept telling me of the benefits of obedience and the consequences of disobedience. He explained to me his deep desire to guide me. He told me that there's not just one man I can possibly get married to, but that here and now, this is the path he wants me to follow. There's not just one person you can marry, right? It's not as if there's one magical person on earth that we must marry or we're going to miss. But God leads us in seasons. He goes according to the seasons of our life. So if you're in a particular season, amongst the people that are available or present before you, all the people that are asking you, all the people that are interested in you, there is one person who is God's will. There isn't one magical person in the world, but in that season of your walk with God, there is one person. Some people miss it. Yeah, if you miss it, God is a God of redemption. But why would you want to miss it, right? Why would you want to miss it? However, the last part of this whole journey was the application of the lessons I learned during the previous season on trust. I had so many fears. What will my parents say? This particular one freaked me out. I didn't want to mess up this man's life. That's another thing that freaked me out. I didn't want to mess up his life with my immaturity. I felt like I'm so young. I'm so like, who am I? I'm still just figuring out this having a relationship with God thing. Adding having a relationship with a man. I know myself. I am immature in many things. I don't want to mess up your life. I kept telling myself I'm not fit for something like this. This was a perfect opportunity to apply what I had learned. God told me to step out in faith, and in faith did I step out. I didn't really feel I had a choice though. You always have a choice, right? But I was in a place where I was consecrated and I was like, God, you make the choices. I trust you. This is what I was learning this season as well. I had surrendered my choice to God the moment I asked Him to step into this issue. The last straw was when I was praying one evening as the song Trust in You by Lauren Daigle played. I broke down on the floor in tears and I decided to stop resisting. I would give Him my answer. I would give Him a yes, right? As soon as possible. What will my parents do to me? Will I ever learn to cook and manage the home as I should? Well, that was not my problem anymore. Ask the one who calls and equips. I also learned about placing a too high value on the opinions of people, friends, people you want to impress. Beware. Be discreet and focus on God. When I was making this decision, I even stopped communicating with Him, right? Because I wanted to just be sure that I'm not being influenced by Him or by emotions that are going to be coming up, because emotions did eventually start coming up, but I wanted to be sure that those emotions were not just because we were talking all the time or always interacting. They're not the ones who are going to be in that relationship or in that marriage with you. So you want to really make sure that this decision that you are making is coming from you. It's not because of anybody's influence, but the Holy Spirit's influence. The Holy Spirit is the only person you'll be able to truly rely on when things get difficult. I didn't say if things get difficult, I said when things get difficult, because things will get difficult, right? People can advise you, your leaders should have leaders that can speak to you. This whole process, right? Even the decision to not talk with him, to give that space and stuff. These were things that my spiritual mother was telling me. Her influence was so good on this whole process. She's the one that guided me through this. Remember, I did mention that writing this down was under her leading. So you want to have people who are able to guide you, right? Who are able to, sometimes you feel like you've heard something from God. You go to them and they tell you, because of this and this doesn't align with the word of God. This might not be God's voice, right? You need that. But at the end of the day, the decision has to come from you. You have to make that decision yourself, whatever the decision ends up being, yes or no. And you wear it to your full chest. If it's a yes, then let that yes be your yes with your full chest. And if it's a no, let that no be a no with your full chest. Don't be afraid of what anybody is going to say. If it's a no, it's a no. If God said that's not the person for you, it's not the person for you. Don't be afraid of if I say no now, what was this person? Maybe your mother has been putting you pressure that you must marry this year, or this year is your year, 2024 is your year, and you're there. God is saying that the person is no, or you feel like you're getting old, you're in your 30s, and God is still saying no. It's no. Don't be afraid of the peer pressure. They're not the ones that will be in that relationship with you. Remove. The other elements of my conviction are in Babe's side of the story, right? So it wasn't just at the same time hearing, because you also want to ask the other person, what are your convictions that I'm God's will for you? What makes them so convinced? You also want to be the judge who wants to gather elements and be able to you aren't able to evaluate, discern that this is your conviction. Does it really make sense? Or you're just here, you just woke up one morning, you felt like you like me, and you're now coming into my life. Like the moment those feelings fade, what's going to sustain you? What's going to sustain us? You can't ride on emotions alone. Emotions are important, but emotions are not leaders. They shouldn't lead you into a relationship. They shouldn't lead you into marriage. Emotions should follow your conviction. The Holy Spirit will start prompting emotions and desires in you, and you eventually create an atmosphere with your partner for those emotions to foster, to grow. Now I'm in marriage and I understand, I even understand it better. I want to ride on emotions throughout. Yeah, joking. The way God ordered events for us to get to meet and get to know each other, because that's another whole thing. And I feel like that this other aspect is more like in his part of the story, because it was him who was trying to like get an opportunity to meet me and know me, and God was just working it out in like crazy ways. So guys, if you want Brother Baby to like say his own or share his own like elements of conviction, how he knew I was the one, then let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to pull him over here, right? If the comments are many enough. I really went cheesy in this last paragraph too. That's for me and my husband. Alright guys, I really hope that this helped you. I want to hear your own experiences, your own thoughts. I really want to hear from you and read from you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And yeah, see you in our next video. Bye bye.